Hello, welcome to Line War. Today you've seen the title, you know it's a nuke rush. Now I said I probably wouldn't do nuke rushes anymore, like at least specific matches for nuke rushes. However, OscarGrouch seems to have perfected the nuke rush. And even Julesless said innovators like him are the people he is afraid of. So this is pretty much just to put the fear into Julesless. So anyway, so Oscar starts off with the nuke rush. So he's got a nuke silo. He starts with 5 territories, and he goes for 3 barracks. Now, instead of trying to set up a defense against the enemy who he's predicted started here, he's going to use commandos. He does switch in. So, using the commandos, he's going to try and scout out where the enemy is and try and find the best point to attack with the nuke. Which is a bit unlike me, which I try and use the nuke as fast as possible to surprise the enemy as quick as possible. So I will just speed up the time a little bit. There we go. We can see switched into commandos now. They've got white jackets, not orange. And Igor over here has got a barracks in the mountains here. He's got a navy yard set up. Going into an airfield and a factory in the mountains here. Oh, and a second barracks. Nice. Now they've got a fair amount of infantry going forward, pushing through. And he's got some infantry down here grabbing the territories. He probably could take that off and move it up this way to grab this territory too. Because he's going to need this oil well. Actually, he's not going to do that. He's using the transport boat. He's going to come along and try and grab this island over here. So even if he does get nuked, he could still survive this. Try and escape to another island. And in fact, if you do get a nuke rush against you, don't quit. Because if someone nuke rushes, they likely can't fire again. And if they can, they're using up a lot of eco. Just spread your structures out more so the nukes can't do as much damage. And make sure they don't overpower you in the ground, because that is where the disadvantage is. As you can see, they've only got 3 barracks against potentially 1 factory, 2 barracks, an airfield, and a navy yard. So my best way to counter this would to just be continue, spread out your structures, and try to make sure the enemy is not sneaking around your base. Now, although Igor could see this, there we go, so we got the fog of war up. Got a bit of an engagement going on over here. We'll turn the speed down now. The commandos over here, Igor can't see, as you can now see, even in the open area which they're in now. They can't see him because there's just no units around. Over here, though, Oscar has grouped up a fair amount of infantry here to stop any guys coming through. Which, unfortunately, Igor is sending them in one at a time. And he's got another group over here, which are just trying to sneak around the sides. But Oscar has stopped them as well. Which means Igor has no idea what's beyond the fog of war. So he can't see any of Oscar's base. So not only is he doing good scouting with his commandos, he is stopping the enemy, finding out what he's doing. He's getting a factory set up, so I can imagine Oscar's eco. Actually, it's not doing too bad, surprisingly. Probably because he hasn't spent as much on production as he could have. Whereas Igor's production is quite high because of the amount of stuff he's got. But he is planning to conquer quite a few territories. It's got the island over here. And he could transport across this way if he wanted to. But he probably could switch these into some other form of boat. Could be beneficial to use missile ships to take out any air units you see later in the game somewhere else. But we have a tank on the field from Igor as well. Trying to sneak around the mountains here, but it looks like those commandos spotted the base. They've probably revealed this area. And that rocket is going to come in right now. Let's have a quick look in this mode. Oop, pressing the wrong buttons now. Okay, I'm going to miss it if I carry on. There we go. So he gets right in there. He takes out 4 production structures. He got all of them. So not only is this the perfect way to use the nuke rush, this was a perfect battle for him because he managed to take out the key structure because he could see exactly where it was with these commanders that came in. I'm so glad I didn't miss that last strike then. I'd have had to have restarted the video. But another note is that Oscar doesn't have the eco to get another nuke. He probably could if he saved up a little longer, but as he's trying to increase his production of other units, it's still going to take him a little while to get there. So he's going to demo this structure so that he can keep that 400 there instead of spending another 500 on a rocket. And that is how you come out of this, where you get your other units on the ground trying to spread out across the map faster than your enemy can now. Because if they survive this, they are going to eco up and try and take you out, and that's their advantage. But he's going to try and stop the energy and stop these boats from moving. Got no more boat production now. And he's going to take out the energy while to stop them from transporting anything anywhere. And it looks like Igor waved the white flag and was too intimidated by the rocket, I think. And on the graph here, it put Oscar in a bad economy situation up until he fired the nuke. Got rid of the outgoings of that rocket silo. And this is where the rocket hit. So I was wrong, that's not where that happened. I'm not sure what actually caused the spike here, to be honest. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. Either way, you can see he fired the nuke here. And Igor just couldn't keep up after that. He probably could have, to be fair, because if you looked at his economy afterwards, obviously without the production, he would have had so much more economy to use up. He could have spread out across the map, and that would have given him some time in the long run, especially as Oscar using a nuke rush. It is a bit of a disadvantage if you can't intimidate your opponent enough to make them resign. Anyway, thank you for watching. I probably won't record many more nuke rushes, but as this was sent to me on my Discord and Useless was scared of it, I thought I'd share it. So let me know if you want to show your replays in the Discord. Just share it there. Thank you for watching, and there are 2 videos on screen right now. Feel free to click one, and I'll see you on one of those.